Good morning, happy Friday focus. It's Friday the 29th of April and it's Bank Holiday Monday, next Monday. I've completely forgotten about that. I hope you've all had a lovely week and all got back into the idea of working again after school holidays and things. Anyhow, so today what we're going to be talking about is how to combat stress as an entrepreneur. This is massive. I apologise for how I look this morning. I did run an exercise class and then I had to run into something else and I haven't had a chance to change. So I do look in a complete and utter mess. But this goes with what we're talking about today, how to combat stress as an entrepreneur. So I am in the process of trying to scale back the amount of work that I'm doing because I've spent 25 years working practically flat out, apart from a little bit of time to have off to have my children, and it's taken its toll and I'm exhausted, and so I am scaling back in my business, not scaling down, just scaling back as far as the amount of work that I'm doing. So I'm reorganizing all my time management. I'm working out what I need to be able to only work 3 days a week, and how I can put that into process. But a lot of this is due to the fact that as an entrepreneur, I have been suffering quite a lot of stress recently. And I think with the new way that everybody seems to be working these days, but since COVID, I think there's an awful lot of us who are suffering this at the moment. I had to have my eyes tested last week or this week because I can't look at a Zoom screen or my computer screen for more than a couple of hours a day. And I've got Zoom exhaustion, Zoom inertia, you call it what you like. Anyhow, so today we're going to be talking about how you can combat stress as an entrepreneur, small business owner. So being a small business owner is stressful. Small amount of stress can actually be good for us because it pushes us harder and propels our business forward. However, too much of it, and you can take all the joy out of anything, not just entrepreneurship and your work, but everything. And it can harm your health, it can hinder your productivity. I mean, all sorts. If your cortisol levels are high, it's really not good for you. So studies show that people who suffer from prolonged stress experience a range of really nasty side effects, including insomnia, low self-esteem, frequent colds, and infections. So while it's true that stress is part and parcel of being a business owner, there are plenty of ways to manage it. And one of these days, I will actually take note of what I'm actually saying. So one is delegate. First step towards reducing stress is lightening the load, obviously. So often as a business owner, we try to tackle everything ourselves. And we also think possibly, not pointing any fingers anywhere in particular, we often think that we're the only ones who can do it. And actually we're not. And again, this COVID thing has taught us all of that as well, to be honest with you. But it's also very unrealistic and it can lead to quite serious burnout. So in order to achieve long-term success as a business owner, we have to know when to delegate and have to have people we can delegate to. I've had a lot of issues recently, not with Paul, my wonderful VA, or Lisa, my wonderful VA, but with other people who have been over-promising and under-delivering. And I realised last week that I might be actually slightly guilty of that as well in certain ways. So I've rectified it. Anyhow, delegating. So we have to know when to delegate and who to delegate to. Identifying what tasks require our specific expertise and delegate those which our team members should actually be able to handle with the right instruction. And this is really key, making sure that you give them the right instruction. So if you're a sole trader, you can always outsource certain tasks to freelancers and virtual assistants. In fact, if you're a limited company, it doesn't really make any difference. Or you can take on staff to help you if you haven't already got them in your team. Exercise. Adding another task to your to-do list really might sound quite counterintuitive, and for me it always has done because I've never had a buzz out of exercise. It's always been a bit of a chore, but actually it is an incredibly good and effective stress buster. Richard Branson apparently has stated that his commitment to health and fitness has played a vital role in his success. And I think for a lot of people, whether you notice that it releases those endorphins or not is neither here nor there, to be quite honest. But if it can combat that stress and that fatigue, then it can help your cognitive function, it can strengthen your memory, it can strengthen your sharpen your focus. It can do, so much. It really can. And if that is going to help you, then it's going to help your business. It's going to boost your productivity. And that alone may actually reduce your stress levels as well. But basically what it does is it kicks off a positive cycle. So I have to exercise if I'm going to exercise. I have to exercise first thing in the morning. Gets it out of the way, it's done, it's dusted. Okay, by the afternoon I'm pretty shattered. But it means that it's done. It's sorted. I don't have to worry about it. And it gives me enough of a boost to get through the morning. So you don't have to run miles every day or spend hours in the gym. A small amount of daily exercise can be really useful. Obviously, I am what we call a midlife woman. And I've started doing a wonderful woman, Sam Palmer. Look her up. She is amazing, midlife makeover coach. And she is fabulous. She runs these abs, arse and arms classes 2 times a week, and various other classes, yoga classes, Pilates classes, fit stick classes. Who knew what a fit stick was before this? I didn't. Anyhow, they're half an hour. They're at 8 o'clock in the morning. You're done and dusted by 8:30. And if you can't get onto them live, they're on demand. So they are amazing. Half an hour of exercise, which is enough to get your heart rate up. It's enough to really strengthen things. And if you are a midlife woman, I don't know why I have to say it in that voice, but I do, then doing strength exercises is really, really good for us. And it keeps us moving, and it's really good. So number 3 is meditating. Meditation and mindfulness has been around for thousands of years, as we know, but it's celebrated for its stress-busting beliefs. It can be done anytime, anywhere, but it's best to set aside a designated time slot, either each morning or each evening or both, so that you don't forget to do it. So it's part of your ritual. Studies have really shown that daily meditation is an effective way to treat stress and anxiety. It's one of those things that I've tried to get into many, many times, and it just doesn't seem to work for me. But what does work for me is journaling. And I think that is my type of meditation. So when I wake up first thing in the morning, now I go and sit in the dining room with my Remarkable. I love my Remarkable. And I journal. And sometimes I'll write a page and a half. Sometimes I'll write 3 pages. It depends on what I'm doing. And I know a lot of people say you've got to get to 3 pages in order for the magic to really happen. But actually the magic happens for me a bit earlier. And I don't do it 5-7 times a week, whatever. I do it probably 3 or 4 times a week. But for me, that's enough. That gets the thoughts out of my head and onto paper. And I find it really useful. If you want a really good book to read, The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, spectacular. So number 4 is finding a hobby. As an entrepreneur, it's really easy to get our whole life consumed by our work, really easy. But it's very important that we make enough time and effort to maintain other interests. Fun and hobby is also a great way to unwind. I know I've spoken about this before, but my paddleboarding is my hobby. And I'm so excited because on Sunday, our paddleboard yoga starts again on Sunday morning. And I'm hoping that I'm going to have enough energy to be able to do this. I think I will. And also I'm starting to cycle more as well, which is part exercise, part hobby, because I really enjoy it. But also it depends what you want to do as your hobby. What do you do? The other thing that I do is I make curtains and blinds because it's fun. So this flat that I'm buying at the moment, I've got to make all the blinds for it. But that's okay. I don't mind. It's quite fun to do it anyhow. So what could you do as your hobby? I know we've all got so many things going on in our lives, whether that's work or home or children or parents or whatever it happens to be. But finding something that's going to make our brain feel better, make our feel-good hormone start stimulating again and start moving around again. What can you do? And it doesn't matter if it's a relaxing hobby or if it's an adrenaline-fueled hobby. It's completely up to you. Taking regular breaks. I am really bad at doing this. I get a message on my flipping Apple Watch saying it's time to stand, it's time to stand. You haven't stood yet, you haven't got up, you haven't moved around. And do I take any notice? No, I don't. So again, this is one of the ones that I have to really take some notice of as well. But I think as business owners, we are really guilty. Some of us are really guilty of working solidly throughout the day. But apparently, so they say, neglecting to take breaks actually damages your productivity. So if you struggle to remember when to press pause, set a timer on your phone or on your flipping Apple Watch to remind you to take a break every hour. Stepping outside for just 5 minutes, apparently, can help us to refresh our brain and allow us to gain a new perspective. And if we can do that, then we can be more productive, we can fit our hours better, and therefore we can shorten the hours that we're working. We won't have to work so hard. Sounds good. Bit of a no-brainer, isn't it, really? Anyhow, the summary is that it's important that we control our stress rather than allowing our stress to control us. It's a bit like our money. If we don't control our money, it controls us. And if it controls us, it's running the game, not us. So this is why we need to make sure that we understand what our figures are. We understand where the money's coming from. We understand where the money's going to, which is slightly more important at the moment, especially with all the high costs that we've all got to put up with. But also that we start to figure out how we can increase our profitability. Now, I'm all about increasing our profitability. There is going to be a course. Now, our launch date is the 14th of June, and it's going to be really exciting, really, really exciting. It's going to be a 6-week course, cash management, a fresh perspective. And it's about how to set up Profit First, what it's all about, how it works, what pitfalls are likely to be, what you can do to make sure that it works for you, and what you can do to tweak it to make sure it works for you. But also you get a question and answer session every 2 weeks. Plus you get me at the end as a one-to-one. And one of the early bird bonuses is actually that you get me to at the end, not just for one one-to-one, but you get it for 2 one-to-ones. So we go through your figures, make sure that your assessment is right and your percentages are right. But then 4 weeks later, we go through them again to make sure that they're the right figures for you, they're the right percentages, and the Profit First is working for you. So if you want to have a look at it, go along to my website. I believe there is a wait list there. If there isn't, it will be there later on today. But come and join me. It's going to be a fabulous course, and you can do it in your own time, but it'll probably take you about 6 weeks roughly. So please, if you are suffering from stress due to running your business, don't fall out of love with your business. Fall back in love with your business. Understand what's going on and try and cut down on that stress as much as possible. I hope you have a lovely bank holiday weekend with family, friends, alcohol, food, exercise, sun. God, please, could we just have some sun? It's going to be very exciting. Have a lovely, lovely weekend, and I will see you all next week. Oh, no, I won't see you next week because I'm going to be recording it next week because I'm actually in London at a meeting. I will see you soon then. Bye.